teach is bigger than a classroom. And a lot of you have been having to teaching for a long time, man. You've had people say stuff to you, hurt stuff to you. I remember a teacher, and the teacher came to class, and the teacher had a mason jar. Now this is a mason jar, but that teacher had a big jar. One of those big ones that you store food in and put it down in the cellar and can it, and it lasts forever. And he brought the mason jar out, and he took this and he looked at the class, and it was a science class. He was a philosophy teacher, but he was in a science class that day. And he brought the jar and he set it on the table, and he did this. He took 4 big rocks, and he put them in the jar, and they came all the way to the top of the jar. And he asked the question, is this jar full? And one of the kids in the back goes, go ahead, what's your name? And he said his name, and he goes, yes it is. And he goes, really? Then he took a big old thing of pebbles and he poured them in on it. And he filled all and shook it around and fell down in between, and he goes, is it full now? This time no one raised their hand. They're like, is it a trick question? And he took a box of sand and he poured the sand in the jar. And he shook it around and fell down through the pebbles, and he took a can of water, poured the water in the jar, put the lid on the jar, and said, what does that teach us about life? And one of the students said, you can always put something else in there. I don't know, I mean, I could have made that mistake myself, but I didn't. Neither did you. It reminds me of like that movie, the museum movie. Night at the museum. Dum Dum. Dum Dum. Dum Dum. Dum Dum. Yeah, whatever. That dude, he did the wrong thing, and he knew it the minute he said it out his mouth. Have you ever said something out of your mouth and you're like, oh God, I'm going to be an idiot. That's what he knew. And the teacher said, no, 1,000,000 miles off. You couldn't be farther from the truth. It teaches us that if you want to have a full life, you have to put the big things in first. See, the big things in life are things that you come to camp to learn. Your family. How your family is. How not just the family you have now. Some of you don't have a great family right now. So you're like, well, that doesn't really mean a lot to me. No, but you're going to have one someday. That's the one that's most important to you. Not even the one your heritage. Man, I have my mom and dad. They're both gone now. They're in heaven. I love my family. But the truth is, I never knew how much I would love my own sons. And guess what? My daughter has 3 boys. I never knew how much I would love my grandsons. Family is a continuous thing in your life. And at any given time, you can break the chains and make the family better. Family. Put it in there first. Make life. What kind of family does God want you to have? How much love do you want in your family? Do you want them to succeed their dreams? Do you want them to live a successful life? Do you want to be the kind of husband? Do you want to be the kind of father? Do you want to be the kind of wife? Do you want to be the kind of mother? Do you want to be the kind of an uncle or an aunt? Do you want to be the kind of person that when you're there, the family's better? Family. Put it in first. Check this one out. Health. How do you want to live? Do you want to live your life just letting things happen to you, or do you want to control your life? Do you want to say, I want to have enough discipline in my life to be healthy for the rest of my life? I want to fight the sickness. I want to fight the discipline. I want to run in the morning. I want to be able to do the things that's inside of me. I know my mind goes, just be lazy, but I know it won't take me where I want to go. Your belief in God, that's what we're here for. It's a big thing. But more than that, the way you think about what you're becoming is the important things. All the other things, job, getting money, they're like the pebbles. And then the sand are all those little things like what movie I'm going to. All those stuff will take over your life, and you won't have the big things in there, and you can't put them in after you start. A lot of you have already started, so if you don't put the big things in pretty soon, the misnomer is like, well, I'm still young. I'm just a little kid. No, you're not. You're fast becoming an adult. The little kids were last week. Wouldn't it be nice to be a little kid? Remember that? We'd have like the Muppets up here. I mean, like, you lost that. We still like the Muppets. Some of us are still a little kid inside. But the truth is, life is pressing you to grow. And so the big things are important. Ashley's going to speak to you for a moment, and our teaching is going to come from her. She's such a powerful speaker. But I want you to know that the big things, we set it up when someone once told me, they said, see, you know what, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll cease to be you. I remember there was a girl in Peru, her name was Erica. When I met Erica, I came as a speaker, like here. And it was a bunch of kids. She was 17 years old. And I meet all these kids, and Erica's there, and she tells me her name, from Peru. I remember in Peru, they have the greatest, if you ever get a chance to go to Peru, get the avocados. They're huge. They're about this big. They look like a grapefruit. So you're like, oh my God. And they taste so good. Then they have this sweet bread that is so unbelievable. See, when you go places, you got to try the food. And you try the food, and you're like, I don't know if I like that. And then you try, and you're like, it's not bad. There are some things that you say, I don't know if I like that, and you're right. I ate balut.
What?
They said, try this. Oh God, don't try it. Don't try. I don't want to ruin your lunch, but I'm going to tell you straight up. My friends are like, oh, try this. And I want to be like, I want to be a little, I want Filipino. I want to be there. I'm going. And they took it, and I took that. It is delicious. But I only ate one. Because it's a little embryo that's almost there. It's a little bit of feathers sometimes. Little feet, and you go, don't chew. This is a warning, I'm just telling you. You do what you want. Just good luck. But I eat some things I don't like. I remember monkey brains. I don't like monkey brains. I don't like that. They go, try monkey brains. Don't always listen to what people say. Why don't you say, I mean, I didn't say no. I go, I'll try it. I remember, like, I would swallow and they would try to come back up. Swallow and come back. Because the monkey was still kicking under there. They had him screwed to the table. Why do they tell you this stuff? I'm an American. I can't hardly handle a hamburger, let alone monkey brains. It's crazy. I'm always worried, did the guy spit on my hamburger? No, they do that. Slim Shady told us. Well, anyway, I met this girl. Her name's Erica, and she was kind of, you know, like, she's taller than me. I'm 5'7", she was 5'9". She was kind of like a little model type. And I thought, what a cool girl. And then she started to tell me her story. And see, in Peru, she lived by Machu Picchu. If you ever go to Peru, go to Machu Picchu. It's like one of the greatest ruins. And you go way out and you drive there and you ride up in this Inca ruins and you go up and it's so big, so ancient, so unbelievable. And the people there are really, really poor, super poor. Not poor like us, poorer than us. Some of us say, well, we got poor. Okay, dude, I'm telling you, they have like a cloth on the front of their house. It snows there. It's very cold as well, up in the mountains, and they don't even have a door. And they barely have stuff. So when the kids get older, Erica was the oldest child, and she explained to me, she goes, Z, here's how it works. In my family, I went to work at 12 as a prostitute so that my mama could feed our family, so my brothers and sisters didn't have to do it. Now, I'm like, I want you to know, that breaks my heart. I'm like a father, so I'm like, oh God. I'm trying not to cry because I'm supposed to be the speaker. And she's telling me this stuff, and I'm like, and you just want to like pick her up and like carry her home. I mean, you want to do, you're like, God, I want that over. That's horrible. How in the world did she deal with that? And she goes, I've never had a birthday party. I've never had, well, okay, that's all she had to say to me. I'm like, well, baby, when's your birthday? She goes, tomorrow. And I'm like, is it her birthday? Because I've been working with young people before. Kidneys, brains, whatever. And so, I said, is it really her birthday? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, we were throwing her a party, man. I went, and I didn't realize stuff in Peru costs a lot of money. I got this cake, and it costs a lot more money than a cake should cost. We fixed it all up, it had a big old thing on it. It looked like it was half a wedding cake. I mean, it was hard to find a cake, actually. And then I got all their food, which was awesome. And then I went and I got her dresses. But I'm kind of one of those guys that once I get started, I can't stop. So I bought her like 9 dresses. I had her friends with me. I'm like, do you think she'd like this? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get that. You think she'd like this? See, when a girl takes a father or a man shopping, they know how to trap us. They do. They like get you going. At first you're like, I don't really want to shop. They take you in there and you're like, yeah, well, that's cool. We should get that. That's cool. And that, and oh yeah, I need a purse and matching shoes and a necklace and a bracelet for the necklace. And you want this outfit too? That's cool. Oh yeah, well, I guess she does need jeans on top of the dress. And so then it takes a different kind of shoes, right? Yeah, cool. That's what I figured in there. Why does this purse say Gucci? When you're done, your credit card goes and you see a little mortgage come up. Your house is now mortgaged. You're like, dear God, what happened? Because I bought them at an American store and it was a really high price, but I wanted her to have something that no one had. I figured she missed so many birthdays. She paid such a high price. Now it was payback. You should have saw that birthday. Well, you know what? Before I left the country, Erica came and sent something home to my wife, Chris. She said, I want you to take this to Chris. It's a bracelet that I had, and you've been so good to me. Take this to your wife. And I'm like, all right, Eric, I will. And so I took it to Chris, and then Chris goes, hey, I can't go to Yukon with you. Lloyd, I got in my jewelry case. Could you give this to somebody? And so last night I prayed, who would I give this to? Who would I give it to? And God told me someone to give this to. I don't know her. I'm sorry, I don't even know her name. But somehow when God tells me to do something, I just do it. Now, this hurts because you should give it. See, God is fair, listen to this principle, not equal. And so what he does is, fair means, equal means everybody gets the same. Fair means on the day that you need God the most, he'll show up. When God comes in the room, he knows who he wants to give something to. So, I'm just going to do that because you know what? I'm going to tell you one more principle and we're going to start. And Ashley's going to teach. Don't want to miss this stuff. So what happens is, that's exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes it's hard to be yourself, because when you be yourself, people say, well, people might not like me. They might not understand that. I don't understand it myself sometimes. Why do you teach with a mason jar? I don't know. Why don't you? No. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not weird. I'm saying I'm unique. I'm saying that God made us unique. And when we come together, we ain't missing nothing. So in this room, at this camp, your counselors, we all talked today. We prayed for you. We looked at you. This team, Ashley is one of the most unique people. But I'm telling you, right now, God's saying this to you. Some of you guys have been doing things you shouldn't do. Some of you guys and gals, I'm sorry, I'm like on the guy's side, but I was meaning all of you. It's kind of a gender thing. Didn't want to lose you. Some of you people in this room are doing things that God would say to you today, if you continue to do that, you will cease to be who I made you to be. Because sometimes we forget who we are. Remember Mufasa? He comes back. Little Lion King. Little Lion King doesn't hurt anybody. The circle of life, baby, it's coming around. And so Mufasa appears in the clouds when Rafiki tells Simba, look deeper. And Simba looks in and Mufasa tells him, hey, you've forgotten something. You've forgotten who you are. Oh, yeah!
It's a movie.
Part of
The best movie I saw when I was a kid. It's always the first.
All they overheated.
Now we can watch one games.
Oh my god. I know, we were like, yeah, and it was like, yeah! And it's like, oh.
Take your time. Take your time. Buffering. Loading swag. Not responding. Not responding. Wasn't responding. Maybe a crack. Not to look good. Really? No! Why do you do this? Everything! Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna give it some time. We're patient, right? We can be patient. It'll be worth it. Okay. Well, so the question is, who are you becoming? Who are you now? Like for me, this being that like most people that know me and that are close to me, they know and they identify that I'm a dreamer. I always have been, I always will be. That's how, you know, I create new things, songs and dances. I'm a dreamer. And I know ever since I was little, I've had huge dreams. I've had dreams of, you know, God, I want to go here and I want to do this and I want to be able to speak and I want to be able to dance and sing and all this kind of stuff. And it all started with me having to recognize at a moment in time, where am I at? What am I doing? You know, sometimes it takes us a single moment to just stop and ask, first off, who am I? And then, who do I want to become? I mean, how many of us find ourselves in this kind of process where you're trying to figure out, okay, God, I've done this, I've lived this way, I've run this way, this is how everything has played out for me. But God, I need need my moment. I need that time. I need to finally let it all go and say, God, this is who I am. This is what has happened in my life. Whether I liked it or not, whether it was fair or my choice, this is what's happened in my life. And God, I need you to help me. See, the clip that we're gonna show you eventually, hopefully, crossing my fingers, but it's that clip I love. I'm a huge Disney fan. Like, that's right. I will take people, and I will take people down in Disney scene it. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And so the thing is, like, we have it? Yeah. We have it. Is it ready? Oh, yes. Glory, hallelujah. Pay attention.
What would it prove anyway? It won't change anything. You can't change the past. You said you'd always be there for me! But you're not. It's because of me. It's my fault. It's my fault. Come on, will you cut it out?
Can't cut it out. It'll go right back.
Will you stop following me? Who are you?
The question is, who are you?
I thought I knew. Now I'm not so sure.
Well, I know who you are. Shh, come here. It's a secret. That's what?
Enough already. What is that supposed to mean anyway?
It means you're a baboon. And I'm not.
You're a little confused.
Oh, I'm not the one who's confused. You don't even know who you are.
Oh, I suppose you know.
Sure do. You're Mufasa's boy. Hi.
You know my father?
Correction. I know your father.
I hate to tell you this, but he died a long time ago.
No, wrong again. He's alive. He's alive. And I'll show him to you. You follow old Rafiki. He knows the way. Come on. Don't open. Hurry up.
Hey, whoa, wait.
Come on. Come on.
Would you slow down?
Stop.
Stop.
That's not my father. It's just my reflection.
No. Look hard. You see, he lives in you.
Father?
Simba, you have forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life.
How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are. You are my son and the one true king. Remember who you are.
No, please, don't leave me. Father, don't leave me.
No.
What was that? Very peculiar, don't you think?
Yeah. Looks like the winds are changing.
Change is good.
Yeah, but it's not easy. I know what I have to do, but going back means I'll have to face my past. I've been running from it for so long. Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
It still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. You see? So what are you going to do?
First, I'm gonna take your stick.
No, better stick. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going back!
So I can tell a lot of you guys know the Lion King well. You're quoting along with it. That's cool. I do the same thing. But the question is, the thing that stuck out to me with that is the whole, who are you? See, we have to often walk through, we look at it like, oh, that's just a kid film, I remember watching that back in the day, and I still love it, or, whatever you could say right now, but the thing is, do you realize the weight that holds? I was blessed, I've been so blessed, I got to go see The Lion King on Broadway, and I got to meet the cast, and they had talked to me about, coming and joining it, and honestly, I didn't, because I was like, I know that's not what God has for me, but in being diverged and all that, I got to realize how this thing was created. Do you know that the directors and the producers of this movie, parallel it to The Prodigal Son? They parallel it to the story of Joseph. I mean, to me, that just blew my mind, because I'm like, this is a Disney thing. Why would they reference that? But they did. They understood that to be able to capture the heart, for people to understand and leave a message, because the thing is, they want to leave an imprint in your mind. So you have to go with something that's going to pull on the heart. It's about having to face yourself. That was the message that they wanted to relay. So the thing that I want to ask you, that we had thought to ask you this morning, was talking about facing your fears so you can live your dreams. It's not easy. I will not stand up here and lie to you, say that, when you go with God, then it's just woof, it all goes away. That doesn't happen. Sad to say, that's not the reality we live in, but the reality we do live in is that our God is bigger. He works in ways that are far beyond what we can understand. So, let's ask ourselves, what fears are we needing to face to be able to live our dreams? Knowing that I have God on my side, though, do you know, I say this verse everywhere I go. I love it. It's my favorite verse. It's in Psalms 38. So if you want to pull out your Bibles and mark this one, because I want you guys to remember this, because this isn't something that I just heard and was like, oh, that's a good little message. I like that scripture, It was something that literally somebody spoke into my life, and that was my defining moment, where I realized I gotta face myself. Psalms 38:11. You guys got it? We're getting there. I still hear the pages turning. Psalms 38:11. I literally, wherever I have gone to speak, somehow I incorporate this. And when I've written songs, I say this one verse just because of the weight it holds. Psalms 38:11 says that God, He sees us where we're at, and He stoops down to make us great. Think of that. God stoops down from on high, as great as to make you great. Why would he do that? What do you see in me, God, that would cause you to think of me and to